You are listening to Christian Audio's production of One Way Love, Inexhaustible Grace for an Exhausted World by Tullian Tchividjian. This book is read by Tom Parks. This audio recording was produced in 2014 by Christian Audio, which owns the copyright. No portion of this recording may be reproduced for any reason without prior written consent from Christian Audio. This edition issued by contractual arrangement with David C. Cook. Originally published in English as One Way Love, Inexhaustible Grace for an Exhausted World, copyright 2013 by Tullian Tchividjian. All rights reserved. Please visit christianaudio.com, facebook.com/christianaudio, or twitter.com/christianaudio to offer your impressions of this work and to explore additional titles. To my son Nate, your confidence, generosity, humor, tenderness, humility, bravery, teachability, and selflessness are a great testimony to what happens when someone understands how God's one-way love secures them. Introduction. A few years ago, I read something astonishing. Dr. Richard Leahy, a prominent psychologist and anxiety specialist, was quoted as saying, "The average high school kid today has the same level of anxiety as the average psychiatric patient in the early 1950s. It turns out the problem wasn't limited to an age group. In 2007, the New York Times reported that 3 in 10 American women confessed to taking sleeping pills before bed most nights. The numbers are so high and unprecedented that some are calling it an epidemic. This came across my screen about the same time that the news broke about the meteoric rise of Americans claiming no religious affiliation, shooting up from 7% in 1990 to 16% in 2010. When those under the age of 30 were polled, that percentage more than doubled again to nearly 35%. While the numbers themselves were a bit of a shock, I wish I had been more surprised by the findings. From my vantage point as a pastor, I can tell you it is truly heartbreaking out there. The good news of God's inexhaustible grace for an exhausted world has never been more urgent. What I see more than anything else is an unquestioning embrace of performancism in all sectors of life. Performancism is the mindset that equates our identity and value directly to our performance and accomplishments. Performancism casts achievement not as something we do or don't do, but as something we are or aren't. The colleges those teenagers eventually attend will be more than the place where they are educated. They will be the labels that define the students' values as human beings in the eyes of their peers, their parents, and themselves. The money we earn, the cars we drive, aren't merely reflective of our occupation. They are reflective of us, period. How we look, how intelligent we are, and what people think of us are more than descriptive. They are synonymous with our worth. In the world of performancism, success equals life, and failure is tantamount to death. This is the reason why people would rather end their lives than confess that they've lost their jobs or made a bad investment. This is not to say that accomplishments are somehow bad, or even that they aren't incredibly important. It is simply to say that there is a difference between taking pride in what we do and worshiping it. When we worship at the altar of performance, and make no mistake, performancism is a form of worship, we spend our lives frantically propping up our images or reputations, trying to do it all, and do it all well, often at a cost to ourselves and those we love. Life becomes a hamster wheel of endless earning and proving and maintenance and management and controlling, where all we can see is our own feet. Performancism causes us to live in a constant state of anxiety, fear, and resentment until we end up heavily medicated, in the hospital, or just really, really unhappy. Sadly, the Christian church has not proven to be immune to performancism. Far from it, in fact. In recent years, a handful of books have been published urging a more robust
Sample complete. Ready to continue?